Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun and today I'm here to give you my review of The Tick Season 2. Now The Tick is one of the best, I'm going to say this and you guys are going to laugh at me. The Tick is it's on Amazon Prime, so if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can go watch The Tick right now. It's on Amazon Prime. And last time they released The Tick, they released it, one at a time. But this time they just released it all at once. So I love The Tick Season 2. The Tick to me is one of the best, most hilarious, most self-aware, most meta shows of all time. And it has an interesting world. I would equate the Tick superhero world to that of The Incredibles. If you watch The Incredibles and Incredibles 2, you notice there is so much history about the superheroes in the world and Mr. Incredible and stuff. That's how The Tick is. It's this awesome world of superheroes, and it's hard to call it a parody because The Tick came out in the 80s. I believe The Tick was created in the 80s. I'm gonna say it was created in the 80s because there was a Tick cartoon in the 90s, and I remember that cartoon because it used to come on Fox. It used to come on Cartoon Network, and either it was Cartoon Network or Fox. It used to come on Fox Kids, early in the morning. So I remember the Tick cartoon show that used to come on. So the Tick is a pretty old character that had a movie that came out in the late 90s or early 2000s that wasn't particularly that good, but it had a movie, so it was popular enough to have a cartoon show and a movie. And then it got this new rendition this new live action that came out about, I'd say 2 years ago. It feels like it's been about 2 years ago when The Tick came out, and it was great. It was great. It was The Tick, but different, because in the original Tick, The Tick, it's sort of a parody because Arthur, the Tick's sidekick, it's just really The Tick's accountant, and he's good with numbers, and he's the guy who, when The Tick does something terrible, they send Arthur the bill, and he works through it all, and he's the guy who handles all of the real life shit that a superhero would have to deal with, while Tick gets to do all the superhero shit. That, in the comics, that's what Arthur was. He was just that. And the thing I love about the show is they hint to that version of Arthur. They don't commit, he's not that version of Arthur, but there are signs and hints to that version of Arthur. But the new Tick show kind of changed it up a bit. They had all the same characters. Overkill was great, and they brought back a lot of characters from the Tick mythos, so to speak. But they changed up Arthur a bit. First of all, his moth suit isn't just a suit. It's a highly grade military suit that just so happens to look like a moth. I mean, bullshit? Yeah. But it's like a bulletproof suit. It's like a super suit. Arthur's suit, at its highest capability, can take on their version of Superman. This is this guy named Superion. And Superion is their version of Superman. Except, think Superion is Superman if he didn't need solar radiation if he was just powerful. He didn't need solar radiation, and he was centuries old. Then you'd get Superion. He's just this superstar celebrity showing up on TV and shit. He's I'm Superion, he is Superion. He doesn't have a secret identity or nothing. He is just Superion all day long. And it's a fun, Tick Season 1, I reviewed it, I gave it a 10 because I thought that the show had no fat on it. If you don't like the show, it's because you're not into things like this. But if you are a comic book fan, if you are a fan of if you are a fan of meta comedy, I'm talking Deadpoolish kind of comedy, except Deadpoolish comedy, except kind of pulled back, except not pulled back, but except the immaturity, except if you take away a little bit of if you dial down the immaturity, but this meta, almost making fun of superheroes, but not actually making fun of superheroes. It's just the character Overkill. First of all, the name should give it away. Overkill is the brooding anti-hero with these two swords and guns, and he likes to kill people, and he talks a deep, gravelly voice, and the way he talks, it's I put my issues in a glacier. He is basically the embodiment of the brooding anti-hero, the brooding hero who wears black, and it's funny because it's making fun of it, but it's not, because it's pretty funny though. And in the Tick, kind of making fun of superheroes, kind of making fun me the Batman thing of Batman just standing on a rooftop, or Spider-Man just standing on a rooftop, like talking. And it's like, how ridiculous would that look if someone was really doing that? And then you see the Tick standing on a rooftop with like the moon behind him, looking epic, talking, until you realize, no, he's standing on a rooftop in the middle of the night just monologuing. And it's like, yes, that would look ridiculous in real life. And I was like, yeah, the Tick is funny. It's just so fucking meta. It's just like, yeah, this would look ridiculous in real life. I'm gonna do it anyways. And the Tick himself, I can't remember the actor who plays the Tick, but he plays him so well. The Tick is such a dumbass, but he's so lovable. He's that brother you had who has nothing but good intentions. Don't know shit about shit, but nothing but good intentions. So you can't really get so mad at him, because you're like, well, fuck, I can't be mad at him for trying to do the right thing. I wish you would have done it better, or asked me before you did it, but you're trying. And that's the Tick in a nutshell. So season 1, spoiler alert, ends with Arthur being right. The main villain, played by Jackie Earle Haley, the Terror, was alive. Arthur, he was trying to enact a plan to not only kill Superion, but also frame all superheroes in a bad light and all this other jazz, so that Terror could just rule over the world. Arthur was right. They stopped Terror. He's frozen. At the moment, he's frozen. He's being put in he's frozen. Arthur and Tick save the day. Superion's getting criticized for the first time. I'll get back to that. God damn it. Arthur's sister is discovering that she wants to do more than just be because Arthur's sister on the show, Dot, is just like a paramedic, and she's kind of traumatized. And the thing about Arthur is Arthur's traumatized from losing his father. So it is a superhero story. They began from a loss. Now, granted, they still had their mother in their life and their stepfather, who I'll get into later on, their stepfather Walter, who I'll get to later on. So it's not like Arthur and Dot grew up without parents, but a loss did change them. They did lose their father, and it changed them. And the Terror, killed their father. By the way, I miss Jackie Earle Haley in the second season. But to get into season 2, Arthur and the Tick are swinging together. Like, Arthur's fully embraced being a superhero, because in season 1, he didn't want to do it. He was all, he was hesitant, as you would be. In season 2, he's fully embracing it. Now he's fully embraced it. And in fact, you see him getting more and more comfortable with the idea of it. In fact, he quits his job to be a full-time superhero. And he fully goes for this thing, man. He fully embraces it. Dot's kind of going through some things. Her and Overkill have obviously become close. And there are hints that there might be a romance coming down the pipeline. It doesn't happen in this season. Spoiler alert, it doesn't happen in this season. But you see the clear signs that there is something between them. Overkill finally, getting over the loss of the Flag 5, which is their version of the Justice League. He was a part of that group, Overkill. Before he became Overkill, he was like a normal guy. He's finally gotten past that stuff, but he's dealing with stuff not to mention, he kind of made the Tick a promise he wouldn't kill people. And there's a hilarious bit about Overkill just being like, my name's Overkill. If I can't kill people, then it's over, man. Which is totally a meta joke to aliens. Bill Paxton, it's over, man. It's over. Game over. Like, it's pretty funny. If I can't kill people, I'm just over, man. But while the Tick and Overkill and Dot are all trying to figure their stuff out, Aegis shows up back in the city. Now, Aegis is the Tick world's version of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's the Tick world's version of S.H.I.E.L.D. They even have a Nick Fury-like figure named Rathbone. No, what the fuck was it? Tyrannosaurus Rathbone. It's so fucking like, it's funny. Like, they just push it, man. They really do. They push it. Like, in everything, when you think there's just bullshit, that's the thing. It's all on purpose. I've never seen such a show that you feel like the writers are sitting here winking at you while they're doing this. Like, you feel in on the joke. You're just like, wow, that is a fucking ridiculous name. And it's like, it's all just over the top. And then you got, like, okay, and turns out Rathbone is trying to restart Aegis. Because if you remember in the first season, if you watched the first season, Aegis, like, Arthur tried to go to Aegis. But Aegis was closed because there hadn't been any fucking villainy in goddamn, I can't remember what city they're in. I think it's Manhattan, but there hadn't been any villainy in Manhattan in so long that Aegis just closed that fucking branch down. Then the Tick shows up and Arthur and Terra turns out to be alive and shit, and then they reopen it. Obviously, Tick and Arthur, after what they did in season 1, Aegis Rathbone wants to recruit them to, be certified heroes. And, there's hints, and there is a background thing of the Tick shedding his skin and becoming more muscular and becoming more, like, almost a better version of the Tick. Granted, in my mind, I was like, oh, is this this is some bullshit. This is the Black Panther thing. Because Black Panther did the same thing, where they were like, okay, we got to get the new suit, where they came up with, oh, this is his new suit. When in actuality, it's like, no, that suit doesn't look better than his old suit. You just got that suit so that he can move around easier, so that he can breathe in it. Because if you see the Black Panther suit from the original movie, it was like a whole piece thing that he had to like get lifted in. And then you see the Black Panther suit from like Black Panther and Avengers, and you see Chadwick Boseman walking around on set with that thing because it's less on him. It's more shit. And I feel like that's what the Tick did. Like, they kind of just did that, but like, I didn't mind it. But they allude to the Tick past, because one of the dangling carrots that have been going on throughout the season, through season 1 to 2, is the Tick not knowing his past. And like I don't, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm going to just tell you, Tick season 2 is great. It's rare. Usually, shows, in my personal opinion, have ebb and flows. A second season is either better than the original, or not as good, or worse. It's only those three things. It's either better than the original, or not. It's two. You know what? Fuck the third one. It's either better or not. This is a show that hits the rare occasion where I remember going, you know what? This is just as good as the original. It's not better than the original. It's not better than season 1. It's not lower than season 1. It is like a straight line. Like, if you had that like chart to like ratings chart thing, it'd just be a flat line, because it'd be like, season 1 was up here, I gave it a 10, and season 2 was right there. It's a 10. It's a 10. Maybe I'll give it a 9.5 because I was expecting it to be good, and it didn't succeed my expectations. It met it. It completely met it, which is all honestly, that's all I need from entertainment, in my opinion. I just need you to meet my expectations. And I'll set my expectations accordingly depending on what I'm watching. But I just need you to meet it. Just meet it. And this met it. It met it. It hit all the points I wanted to hit. It introduced some hilarious characters. It opened the world to more superheroes. Even opened the world to more superheroes around the world. It opened the world, and then it ended on a beautiful cliffhanger, on a cliffhanger that sets up a lot. And like, man, Tick season 2 is good shit, man. It's good shit. Honestly, it's beautiful, man. And the guy who made the Tick, I'm happy to see that his work is finally getting, recognition it deserves, because Tick is great. And I didn't realize how great of a character the Tick was until watching the Tick, and I'm just like, he's fucking great. So thank you for joining me in the Comic Game Movie Show. Have you seen Tick season 2? You got to check it out, man. Check it out, man. Support it, man, because I had a blast with Tick season 2. Thank you for joining me on the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.